So knight bishop a4 comes in, which I'd invited basically, with these holes in my pawn structure. But knight e3, rook c1 now, as if I'm going to play c4. He restrains any c4 action for the moment. Play bishop d4. Now the knight comes to h6, so he doesn't mind knight f5 and doubling his own pawns, which he does next. Transforms position rather rapidly. We're both starting to run out of time actually. We're approaching, we're getting short on time. Take, and I play king f3. So I'm optimistically trying to use the g file now for an attack and thinking, oh, I might be better here. I was sensing I kind of liked the position a lot better than before, but even so it's not really too much to write home about. So check, rook d1. There's no real tactical blast here with knight f5 or anything at the moment, and black's position is very good, I think. So rook g3, rook g8. So I didn't know, I shouldn't really have played this. Perhaps I should have, if I was really desperate to win the game. Not doubling up rooks to just exchange them on g8 like I do now, with the vague hope of trying to get a better knight versus bishop ending now with this bishop c5 move. But he just plays bishop d8, and here you see on my left Alex had just won, and on my right John was a piece up, and we had 2 draws as well already. So basically we were 1 up in the match, and I was down to about 7 minutes here, and Paul had about 7.5 minutes now. I'd actually gone to be less time than him, and I didn't really fancy the position at all here much anyway. I thought my only hope maybe would be trying, well, earlier when I was looking at this, trying to get the king in somehow, some infiltration, and I think that's fairly optimistic as a plan here, because I have got these weaknesses potentially, and this bishop's potentially kind of, dangerous. And if I move my bishop over here, then there's always bishop b6s. So my next move, actually knight d1, was accompanied with a draw offer, which was kindly accepted. So that secured that we wouldn't lose the match, even if John horribly lost, being a piece up, but he managed to win, so he won the match. But knight d1, he could just play bishop a4 and virtually force a draw anyway, because knight e3 could just go back. What is white doing here? I can't really get my king to d4 without moving the knight. It's a rather ridiculous position. This is very difficult to play for a win here. These bishops are very good. This bishops, and they're fine. Black's got, arguably a better pawn structure. Although his pawns are doubled as well, these bishops are working well within that pawn structure, I think here. But with 7 minutes each, with no tangible advantage, I was pleased with the draw here. So I offered it after knight d1, and it was accepted. But yeah, let's have a look in overview and summary. There are various ways of playing against this novel system. D takes c5 immediately is also an idea on chessgames.com. I'm looking at my other monitor now just to look at this line. So c5, d takes c5 is 307 games at chessgames.com. Knight f3 is the second most popular, and then you've got c3, knight e2, and c4 as 40, 40, 30 games each. So c4, I think, is an interesting bird here to play. C4, an interesting one. C4. I'll just. That's worth investigation, maybe in a different video. So let's look at the game again. So it was knight c3, which is although it was successful against Paul last year, I couldn't rely on c takes d4 being repeated, and it wasn't. So knight c6, more sensible, just e6. So it's an improved French defence with this pawn chain much more exploitable. So much so that I have to basically capture away from the centre and try and hold on to e5. But there was this tactical idea actually after knight g7. If this line's going to actually be maybe revived in the future, then knight a4 here is probably the way to do it, to try and get rid of that menacing dark square bishop. Then it go back to c7. So there's that tactical idea. So that was mentioned. So bishop d3. This is just simply a very bad French defence now, especially this lovely knight h4 move. So I can't beat off these pieces very easily. In fact, they don't get beaten off, they kind of stay lurking around for quite a while and then move into very good squares. So parked his queen very nicely, parked his knight very nicely. So I was just waiting for positional execution almost, with just f6 and more routines like French defence thematic moves, but they didn't happen. For some reason there was a bit too much messing about here, like knight h6 now. So I was getting, I thought, a little bit back into the game, but still worse. You know, technically, I didn't need to play b4. b3 would have been more cautious with the same idea. If bishop e7, bishop b2, so b4 just gives up that a4 square, and also means, you know, c4 is not achievable later. So knight e3. Although, I mean, I was encouraged a bit by the position, but you know, there's no real attack here, unfortunately. So that g file is a bit hopeless. Now the counter attack on the queen side as well. So I've also given that target, that b4, as an undermining target. So the whole queen side's, you know, potentially getting slaughtered here. So the rook's coming off, I thought was a good idea. So knight d1. Draw, and we managed to win the match anyway. It was a home match, so against Royston. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.